What's going on, everybody? Once again, we back. Operation Dart, video number 35. As you can see, I started the video off a little bit differently. I started in the dirt. Thought I would give you a little sample of what we got working on, what we've been working on. I finally finished my relay panel, and I got it mounted. And so while it's mounted in the car, what better place to start the video than in the car and to show you what I've come up with. I got the relay box switch panel done, and I also fabricated a toggle switch panel for my circuits. So I'll show you how my relay slash fuse box came out. Mounted, come out pretty good. Can't complain. First time ever doing something like this, and I think it came out pretty good. So now it's just a matter of whatever I'm hooking up to those relays. All I have to do is hook them up to the switch and to the circuit itself, and then go ahead and go from there. These toggle switch panels that they sell them for approximately 48 bucks through Jigs. They're nice, but I decided I would make my own. I didn't want to spend the extra 48 bucks. I could send that $48 somewhere else. So I thought I would make my own, and this is what I come up with. Making my own. Made my own brackets for it. I ordered the 6-gang toggle switches and made the box for the toggle switches myself, along with the brackets that holds it onto the roll cage. I will then go back behind it, and I will have my wires come out, and my wiring will run, I will run it through this channel. There's a channel inside of here. This channel, I will run my wires down through and come all the way down this channel, where they then will come out at the bottom. That's where my wiring will come out at. I also went ahead and did my turn signals. I did put my turn signals in the dash, along with the turn signal switch, which will activate the turn signals. Now, this is not just going to be a turn the switch on and I got to go back and forth with it. I won't have to do like this to make it flash. This switch actually will hook to a flasher fuse, which will activate the turn signal lights, causing them to blink on and off. So I went ahead and got that hooked up as well. So those are just a few things that I did inside. Last time I left you guys, I believe I had just finished up with the brake lines, and I got this thing sitting back on the suspension. I got it back on all fours, and that was what I just recently finished, was the fuse box. So that's what we finished up with. And now moving on, we are getting ready to do our fuel line. My fuel line, it came. I ordered some braided line, braided hose. Ordered 20-foot braided hose. And also, with that kit, I was supplied with the fittings that I would need. Now, I did have to end up buying some of the straight 3/8 flared 8 AN fittings, which will go into the fuel pump as well as the fuel filter. So I needed those in order to complete the assembly of my fuel line. I was telling my daughter, be quiet, because I was recording. I didn't want her to be messing up my video. So, just yesterday, my fuel pump came, ordering through Summit. You know, Summit does have some goodies. I did order a fuel pump by Holley. This particular fuel pump, it also came with a pressure regulator. Knowing that I was going to need one, I did want to buy one that had a pressure regulator with it. Now this fuel pump, it is capable of producing 110 gallons per hour. I was looking at one, inquiring as to buying one that had a capacity of 140 gallons per hour, but because of the bad reviews, I chose to go with this particular brand, this particular model, because of such good reviews that it received. Now, I'm not promoting Holley, I'm not promoting Summit's goods, but I know that if they got good reviews, I take that into consideration as to what I'm going to purchase, because I don't want to go back and buy nothing after a couple of weeks later and then because of something didn't work like it should. So I ended up getting me a Holley fuel pump along with the polished regulator. And with that, the good thing about that, it also had its own brackets, so I won't have to be making brackets. It gets old after a while. I always got to fabricate something. Got the hardware and the fuel pump itself. This was a Holley. The brand, well, we know the brand is Holley, but the particular model, it was considered to be a Holley Blue Performance. Now, Holley also came out with a black, and that one, it was also it was either 110 or 140 gallon per hour, but because of this receiving such good reviews, I went with this particular model itself. So we got our fuel pump in the mail the other day, and also we also got Jegs. Jegs came, and they came correct with the fuel filter. I had to get a fuel filter as well, so I went with the Jegs. She want to be hard getting out of this plastic, but that's okay. We're going to get her out so you can see her. Okay. All right. So we went with the Jegs fuel filter, where I said your 3/8 fitting will fit right in those holes. Got one port in, one port out, and that is a changeable fuel filter. You unscrew it, change the filter out, go on with it, keep on moving forward. So we ended up getting one of those as well, and we were getting ready to tear this fuel cell out, because I have to do a little bit more cutting on the bottom to get my clearance for the 90-degree elbow fittings. My plan is to run the fuel line down alongside the frame rail as close as possible. Matter of fact, it will be hooked to the frame rail using some clips, little rubber clips to hold it in place. So I will be running that all the way down alongside the fuel, down along the frame rail. And we'll try to get that done maybe tomorrow. I know I'm going to try to get this fuel cell out of here tonight. I have to remove it. I started removing it. I started taking out the button head screws out of the panels on the bottom to remove the panel so that I can get to the bolts that are holding the straps down on the fuel cell, so that I can remove the fuel cell, and in turn I will be able to notch out some of this metal up in here. There's some metal up in here that's in the way of the fuel cell fittings, or the fuel cell outlets. So I have to remove that so that I can get my line to come down along the inside of here. And that's when we will turn it. We will turn it to go down along the fuel, down along the frame rail. So that is the plan for the fuel system hookup. We will try to get the fuel cell out today, and then we'll come back and we'll show you where we're at with our fuel line. I ended up having to order a couple of wrenches for these fittings because being so nice, they're anodized. You don't want to scar them up with just using a regular old crescent wrench. So the AN fitting adjustable wrench that I ordered, it should be here in a couple of days. Well, actually I ordered 2 of them, and I'll be able to use that to tighten up these fittings. As I said, I didn't want to scratch them all up because they are anodized. They are made out of aluminum, and when you scratch anodize off of aluminum, then you'll see that shiny aluminum under the bottom, and I didn't want to have that look, considering they are pretty costly. I want to keep them as nice as long as possible. So we will come back at you, and we will show you where we're at when we do get the brake line. Well, the brake line, I already did them. When I do get the fuel line hooked up, and I'll show you where we're at from there. So with that being said, Operation Dart video number 35, and we'll come back at you in a little while, and we'll show you the completed assembly of the fuel line. Until then, peace out.